When you're on your last leg, you want hope, you want an answer, and it's spelled out capital G-O-D. I was a very private child. I liked hanging out around elderly people. They were like live history books. Outside of that, I kind of stayed pretty much by myself. I hung mostly with my younger sister, Karen. And my mom, she's the model, and she had her little Marilyn Monroe mold going on there. My relationship with my parents, with my mom, it was awesome. To this day, my mom, next to my husband and my son, my mom is my best friend. My dad, on the other hand, my dad was an alcoholic. So growing up in a household where you had a father who was an alcoholic, my biological dad, I should say, it wasn't a really great childhood. I mean, it was, if it wasn't for my mom being creative and squeezing every ounce of happiness she could try and make for us, my childhood would probably have been very sad. When I look back now, I see God, because there were times when you felt it, but then there were other times when you didn't feel it, because he put my mom in that place, and he just must have magnified her with such joy and such happiness and such parenting skills that she made life for us, so we weren't fully impacted by his condition. I am a professional photographer / licensed minister / Christian counselor. I chose photography because I just love photographing people. I love creating. And, I would say to my friends, there are only two people in this world that can freeze time: God and a photographer. The world is so intense right now. People want to laugh. They want to feel. And emotion is what sells. Emotion is what captures the eye and the heart. As a child, religion came again because my mom kept us in church. And we would go to church and we would sit there. And to be totally honest with you, I can't really say that I was even paying attention. It was just church. It wasn't until I think I got probably in my teenage years, around 16, I remember one day waking up and just feeling like, okay, church, God, believing that there was a difference. I can honestly say I really felt like I developed a spiritual relationship after I met my husband, who at the time he was not my husband. And we were dating, and he had gotten sick. And I remember saying to him, I remember taking him to the hospital, and I remember coming home and saying to God, cutting a deal with God, as most people do when tragedy hits. And I said, if you heal him and don't let him die, I will read my Bible every day of my life for the rest of my life. I made God that promise, and that's what I was going to do. But in the midst of that, I realized that God heard me. He heard me, which grew into, he's really there. Which grew into, he's listening and he is living. And it just opened up a brand new world to me. I'm excited about Journey of Faith. It's incredible. When you're in Journey of Faith, you feel like family. And I think that's the one thing that it blesses me. It blesses me on Sundays to come here. Because when you can come to a church nowadays and you can feel like you're around friends and family, that's a sense of security, a sense of comfort. It's being around people who are genuine. We live in this segregated box in church. You have the people who have been to church, and they're the professionals at church. Then you have the people who they're kind of there just hanging out because, this is the thing to do at church. Then you have those who come in and they really need God. I think fellowship should be just what it is. Fellows getting together like you're on one ship and everybody partying. You see the stories of Jesus back in the day in Jerusalem. He's just walking through the crowd, talking, hey, how you doing? It's no fancy anything. It's just Jesus and the people. Jesus, there's no choir, there's no board, there's no, the pastor's right hand, the bishop. It's just Jesus. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not into your understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He'll direct your path. Everything in life doesn't always look the way we think it is, but you have to trust that God will prevail in everything. That's my advice.